What's going on, guys? Running it back with another replay for you. We've got two new player tournament alums here. Melkor on the Empire. Gonna be rocking Boar's Topringer, Bright Wizard. Hawking Long Rifles, lots of State Troopers versus Broccoli Fangirl. Gonna be on Nurgle here with Bile Trolls aplenty. Lots of them. I'm very surprised that she's bringing them. They're a decent unit. I guess with the leadership buff they got, as well as the stomach acid lowering speed and leadership, they could be pretty effective. We'll have to see, though. Marauders as well, and then obviously the Chaos Sorcerer Lord with a couple of throwing axes going to be rounding it out for Nurgle. Outriders also there for the Empire, looking to grab some points. Oh, and a Pestigore unit for Nurgle as well. So we've got Death Magic, actually, Doom and Darkness and Fate of Buna going to be the spell choices. Fate of Buna definitely a good option to have for the Empire. You can either go back here and hit the Hergig Jaeger Corps, or just the regular Hawklands. Either or would be pretty cost effective, but something like the Royal Altar of Griffites would really be the perfect target for Fate of Buna. The Bright Wizard is going to be rocking Burning Head and Piercing Bolts of Burning. Piercing Bolts is pretty good against cavalry. It just winds up so slow that it's kind of hard to land. I just don't know. I don't think either side has an inherent edge here. Maybe the Empire is a slight one just because they've got the Jaeger Corps. And it should be pretty easy to control the middle objective early on, but do get some very good positioning from Broccoli. Immediately jumps up into the tree line here. You've got the Pestigores moving up in there, and we've got a Bile Troll and Forsaken, and looks like some Marauders also going to be going for that position too. Throwing axes looking to hit the Outriders, but the Outriders a little too quick for them, although they do get some fairly good damage in there. Take down 4 models, about 1,000 HP off those guys, a little bit less, about 900. It's going to be a Nurgle consolidation on the number 3 for now. Just making sure that as many of their units are out of the line of sight of all of the shooting that the Empire has currently. The Hergig Jaeger Corps is still getting some damage in, but it's just a little hard to shoot into trees. You know, I mean, there's not a lot of tree cover to actually block shots, but even without shots being blocked by the trees themselves, just firing into forests scatters your shots way more than they otherwise would be. And for a low model count unit, that can be a little destructive to their damage potential. Beautiful shots on the Marauders here. Poke on the Bile Trolls, not bad. One model going down on those guys. You can see him waddling in here with some serious attitude, dude. These things are really gross. I mean, they are definitely one of the more heinous-looking units in the game right now, in my opinion. We do have Swordsmen just getting folded up by that pressure right now. Huge breakthrough right off the bat here, with the Forsaken and the Bile Trolls both very healthy and getting up into the secondary now, potentially. Beautiful Burning Head in response. The Marauders literally one shot there by that overcasted Burning Head. Fury's looking for opportunities to dive, but they need to be real careful. They don't want to land on the Great Swords. Also have Empire Knights back here. Broccoli with a great bait and switch there. Gets just enough time to try and land in here. Oh, really good response. Jumping back out. It's just back and forth here. I think Melkor, though, is going to run into some problems just because a lot of these shooting units can't fire when they're constantly maneuvering back here with Furies hovering over them. They can't sit still, but they also don't want to run too far away. And they're getting a little compacted with like the Great Swords, and the Empire Knights are like moving around in the midst of them. And the State Trooper front line is getting hammered right now. Really nice Doom and Darkness onto the Great Swords. Not quite enough to break their leadership, although here at the last second, no, it wears off right at the moment of last resort, I guess. I don't really know what to call it. Point of no return, there you go. The Great Swords rally at the 11th hour. How many more analogies, metaphors, and similes can I throw out there? Bile Trolls moving in, not a ton of value on them, but a lot of leadership breaks in the front line for the Empire, who are getting hammered right now, man. They cannot hang on to the points. Empire do have the number 2, but the throwing axes are kind of stealing it away right now. One Marauder being forgotten about by Broccoli, but the pressure in the back line is just going so well right now for Broccoli. Even though she's at a small disadvantage, it's really not that bad, because look how many units are routing for the Empire. You got some very healthy units running away, too. That's really hard to deal with. It makes it very, very challenging to, like, reconstitute a good position around your guns when everything is on the back foot. Outrider grenade launchers running away, and the Furies all over the Hawklands. The regular Hawkland long rifle already routing. Well, the Hergig Jaeger Corps is being torn into by this Fury unit now. Some more Bile Trolls. One Bile Troll did get taken care of by Boris. We get a Piercing Bolts coming down. Let's see what kind of damage this does. I think Broccoli is aware of it. Looks like, yeah, she is pulling away from it somewhat. A little bit of damage, but really not enough for how much that spell costs. I mean, 10 Winds of Magic is, I mean, the same as Burning Head, but way less value and utility out of that particular cast. Now, really good spot to throw Burning Head down anyways, though. I mean, look at the terror routes going down. What's in here terror routing these guys? Hold on. What is terror here? I don't understand. This guy doesn't have... Oh, he's... Oh, my God, because, Wait, how is he causing terror right now? I'm so confused. This guy does not cause terror at base, right? It's not Doom and Darkness, is it? What is going... Oh, the Filth Mace! Oh my god, the Filth Mace! Dude, that is some deep tech knowledge there. Actually really helped break up the Spearman block. One of them does rally, but the other's leadership broke before they were able to steady themselves. And the Empire is just totally on the back foot now. I mean, look at the Marauder throwing axes, going after the Hergig Jaeger Corps and the Hawken long rifles. Nothing to push them back right now either. Melkor just totally gassed on the supplies situation currently. And we're throwing axes here. Empire Knights way overextended, so deep in, and not really doing a whole lot to help out their fellow State Troopers. State Troopers are just in total disarray right now. Bile Trolls get terror routed by Boris. Really nice punishment with him. Empire Knights, a handful of them on the field. Running down some Marauders. There are a couple of Forsaken in here. There's also a Pestigore. Those will be pretty capable of doing some damage to Boris and the Empire Knights alike. But beautiful terror routes from Boris now. It's just back and forth with massive leadership losses from both sides. Really close game, but just the fact that Nurgle has the Empire on the back foot this far is pretty telling as to where the winning situation lies currently, I would say. Empire's going to have to find a way to consolidate some kind of shooting onto the field to, like, poke down the Marauder Horsemen, maybe punish any Bile Trolls that come out, just so that the Empire Knights can have a little bit of an easier time staying away from stuff like the Trolls and the Pestigores. Maybe getting stuck up in Marauders and countercharge. There's all kinds of gnarly things that these heavy cavalry can run into. They're great, they're really cost-effective, but they do tend to be a little bit limited in terms of the kind of heavy lifting they can do from a value deficit, but still close, still super close, man. Free Company Militia just getting tuna canned, as I like to call it, where they get, like, compressed into, like, this one itty-bitty blob, even if there's, you know, 70 models left. They're all in the, you know, itty-bitty little portion of the battlefield, like, crammed up against one another. It's that Battle of the Bastards scene, where they're, like, climbing over each other from the pile of bodies. Chaos Furies hounding down the Empire Knights. Just don't see the Empire being able to bring out enough infantry to flip this in the late game. And the triple cap is held on to pretty securely here, and with the Empire Knights going down, it's going to leave the Swordsmen and the Free Company Militia very vulnerable to stuff like Furies, Marauder Horsemen rear charging, as well as any, like, just waves and waves of Marauders that Broccoli can bring out. And Broccoli is saving up some supplies right now. 1,500 right now in the bank. Not 100% sure what units will be brought out as a consequence of all that saving. Finally seeing it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, Chaos Knights of Nurgle, actually. Hell yeah. So just taking a little extra time. You could probably bring a Marauder or something out just to hold on to one of these points with some good solid cap weight. Got one over here on the number 3, maybe one for the number 2 would be nice. There are a decent number of swordsmen that you'll need to be clearing through, but I do think that Melkor is so far behind at this stage. Even though you've got a 1,000 value lead for the Empire here, it's not very true because most of the missiles are dead, and the melee is just really mediocre, so all things being equal, I think Nurgle will be able to slowly outpace what the Empire has left available. On a Fate of Buna, to add insult to injury, hitting the Outriders, and the Outriders are very squishy to Fate of Buna. I mean, you can see them basically taking all the damage here, just from Fate of Buna, a little bit from the Furies, but really not that much. Down to 1,800, they immediately lose their nerve and start running away. Massive loss. 7 Bile Trolls here, still hanging in. Not a lot of value, but, you know, respectable at 400. Going to be beating up on some swordsmen. Could potentially get a nice rout for Nurgle here with the assistance of the Chaos Knights, who are just hammering down these lightly armored infantry, who definitely do not want to be in this spot. This is the absolute worst place for a swordsman to be, fighting against, you know, mounted chosen, essentially, backed up by some monstrosities like Bile Trolls. Royal of Gryphites coming in, though. Hold on. Is this where the momentum swings back? No. Wow. We're literally right as I say it, we get the end of the game. Crazy. I think that's probably because of the cap situation. The Empire just couldn't grab this middle point, and the side point was also still in Nurgle's hands, and there's a whole Marauder here to get through. There's a Forsaken coming up. I think it's just a little out of the realm of possibility. I think there might have been time for the Empire, if it weren't for the fact that they were so far behind on the tickets. I think with the Royal Altar of Gryphites out and Boris to get terror routes all over the place, maybe they can swing this back, but maybe a little too much to ask from them, considering the situation. Hergy-Giger Corps, not a lot of value. Not a whole lot going on with the Hawk and Long Rifles either. Outriders, about 500, not bad. Those Furies were really well used. 1,700 on this one, 1,000 on the other. So on 2 summons each, paying for themselves each time over. Really nice. And then you got the Marauder throwing axes, getting some fairly solid value. 1,000 here, 900 here, 600 and 371. Nothing too crazy in terms of value trades for Nurgle. Honestly, just the fact that their Furies did so well is the surest sign of victory against the Empire. Furies are just so cost-effective into the Imperials because you just swarm down with a couple of these things and delete most of their missile units in just a matter of seconds. Not a lot of Empire peel is very effective for clearing out Furies other than the heavy cavalry, and if the heavy cavalry are just constantly sniffing in the back line, it does allow you to get through all the state troopers oftentimes with your own melee corps. So Empire definitely has a few vulnerabilities in this matchup, as you can see. Really great win for Broccoli. Huge plays there, and Melkor was like right on the cusp. Probably just dumping the Hawklands and going with probably anything else shooting-wise. Maybe some more Outriders with the upvets would be a good idea, because the Outriders are way cheaper than the Hawklands, even with the chevrons, so you could probably cut both these guys and get like 2 more Outriders and upvet them as well. And then you'd have a really nice Skirmisher Corps that would be a little bit easier to dodge Furies with. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Until then, GG's, peace, and take care.